Let's talk about how to become a vendor. And I'm just going to give you guys some examples of people I've talked to and what worked for them. And I'm going to tell you what's worked for me. I did not carry a lot of commercial contracts with property managers and apartment complexes. I had one that was a commercial one with a whole bunch of vets, like hundreds of veterinarian little places around all of Ventura County and LA County. I had one for Aloe. I went to all the Aloes multiple times. And I actually had one with the government, with the DEA. So I've had a few. I have some experience, but property managers and apartment complexes are a little bit different. First things first, guys, you are going to need to carry all the insurances: general liability, commercial auto, umbrella, and workers' compensation. Not always will you need this one. They won't always ask for workers' comp, but you can always get a ghost workers' comp policy. I'll have a video on that later. Especially if you're an S Corp, it's easy just to get a workers' comp policy. It's recommended you carry all the insurances. Most commercial places will only ask for general liability. The picky ass ones will ask for all four, even your commercial auto. It's wild. You can start with general liability and just kind of go from there. And if they need the other insurances, add them as soon as possible. I remember when I needed to add umbrella, I had to close this job. I was like, holy shit. Okay, so then I added umbrella the next day. Usually property management companies like Graystar or Irvine Company, the big ones, they use software called NetVendor. There's 3 or 4 big ones, and I'm going to put them all in the video description below, but go ahead and check. NetVendor is like the biggest one. What you want to do is you want to apply on NetVendor. Get your company verified that you're a legit company, you're properly insured, and this will then give you access so that all of the other apartment complexes and property managers can then see you, that you are verified as a vendor. You submitted your W-9 to them, your insurance, and you're a legit vendor. So that's the first step. You need to get on all the vendor platforms, okay? The second thing, the most important thing, is how do we get in with these property managers? How do we get in and become a vendor? This is where charm and charisma come in. This is where networking is everything. It's also a numbers game. So let me give you an example. I talked to a guy who runs his business purely off commercial, survives completely off apartment complexes. I asked him how he did it. And he told me, he's like, there's like 30,000 or something apartment buildings in Dallas. I don't know if that's accurate. That's just what I remember he told me. Now remember, you're already on NetVendor and all this stuff. You're already verified. He hit 10 to 15 apartment complexes every day. And he wouldn't leave that apartment complex unless he spoke to somebody who was able to give his little gift basket or a business card or, something. And his goal was 50 to 70 apartment complexes a week. And he did this for months. This is what we call a numbers game. This is just life, numbers. You want to find your wife, go out dating and kiss a lot of frogs until you find your princess, right? I truly believe everything in life is a numbers game. The more input, the better the output. Now, can you be more effective in your input? Sure. We're not going to talk about that right now, but this is a classic example of grinding and just putting in the work. So the easiest thing that I can tell you now is make sure you're good at your charm and your charisma, and you're just good with people. You're friendly, a smile on your face, hit up tons of these properties, nursing homes, apartment complexes, whatever, and just show face. The next thing that he told me was who you speak to. You definitely want to get past the front desk person, but if that's all there is, you leave whatever you leave with her to let the leasing manager know. The next person you want to go is the leasing manager. Above the leasing manager, you want to try to find the property manager. Property manager is not going to always be on property, but you want to at least try to get to the leasing manager. And a technique that I was told, try to get in with the maintenance techs. Get creative. What can you give them? Talk to them. Charm them. Find the maintenance tech, because the maintenance tech at the end of the day makes the decision on if they were a good company or a good vendor to keep working with, if they did a good job. The next thing you want to do is, if you're playing the numbers game, keep a spreadsheet and kind of tell, like, what was the vibe of the game that you just spit, the charm, the charisma, and rate it. Cold, warm, hot. Rate this lead. So after you hit 70 that week or over the month, you go through your lead list from cold, hot, warm, and the cold ones, you just go do the same thing too. The warm and hot ones is where you start applying a gift basket budget and a donut budget. The frequency's up to you. Go back and give donuts to the ones that you felt a connection with that person. Keep hitting as many as you can. And this is where networking comes in, guys. Like the people you know, networking events, community events, being a person of your community, business events, chamber of commerce, landing commercial contracts is an art form of networking. This is a skill in itself. I'm not going to be able to teach networking. I'm not a master networker, but I have this in my course, guys. You can cold email like 100 of these businesses a day and just email blast. You'll get lower results, but you can just have it running forever and just try. And I've landed contracts and jobs through cold email. Let's say you get every property manager, every apartment complex, every nursing home, and just start cold emailing as well on top of that, while showing face and in-person networking. And so you can do it. I know this isn't like hard-hitting, crazy advice, except the cold email and mass emailing and scraping. If you guys want to learn about that, check out my course in the video description, because you can cold email thousands of businesses a month and get more results on top of you networking. There really is no trick. Get good with networking, get good with people, and start going to networking events and getting good at rizzing people, especially apartment complexes, and just try to get to the maintenance tech, try to get the property manager. Hope that helps, guys. As always, I leave you guys with this: success is often covered in dirt, but so is gold at one point. Toodles.
Just another sunny day.